2 weeks after I was diagnosed with PCOS from my fertility doctor. It's a very honest account of how I felt at the time. I had a really hard time with my diagnosis, and I wanted to post something that was raw and truthful. I wanted to post that video in this video because I was watching it yesterday, and it just was amazing to me to see how far I have come and to see what place I am in now compared to the place I was in then, which is a year and a half ago. I wanted to post that video within this video because I really wanted to do something that really showed how you can get through things and can show you that you don't know what's around the corner, you don't know what life has in store for you, and I'm really hoping that this video will help those out there that are still struggling to have hope, have faith that things can work out. My story is living proof of that, and hoping that those that are still struggling can find some comfort in my story. This video is actually going to be about my initial feelings dealing with hearing that we have a diagnosis of infertility. My initial feelings, although I was very happy that I was with this great doctor and I was excited about getting things started, I was really sad the day we found out that I had infertility, although in the back of my mind I always knew that that was what was wrong. This was a really big, I don't know, a really huge change in my life. It was like a whole new path had been carved out for me that I never expected to deal with, and that I was going through this process of grieving. Felt like I really was grieving the loss of my old life. And I know that sounds sort of strange. And what I mean by my old life is my life before I knew I had infertility, where I didn't know anything to do with PCOS or anything to do with infertility issues, and I thought that when I got off birth control, things were just going to snap back into place after a few months. And that I was going to be guaranteed to be able to have children. And that old life when I was imagining mine and my husband's babies and what they would look like, and all of those really wonderful thoughts you have, especially after you first get married. I feel like those are things that you automatically are drawn to, just this, I don't know, these dreams about your children and your life and what your life's gonna be like with your husband. And starting to realize that that might be more difficult for us, and I had no idea what that meant, and it became this really scary place for me. And I started to really pity myself and get into this really bad space of feeling like things were never gonna work out and that this was really unfair, and I was really angry. And although I was grateful that I'm living in a time that doctors have the knowledge to be able to give me options, it still felt hopeless at the time. I don't know why, but it just felt really hopeless. Why me? Why did this happen? This is not what I ever thought would happen to me. This just is not fair at all. So how do I feel now? A year and a half after making that video, it's just amazing to me how things ended up turning out. And I don't know, I've been thinking about how I would describe how I feel now that I've sort of had a baby against the odds, and it's really hard for me to think about how to sum that type of feeling up. But I guess the best way of describing it is it just feels like a huge sigh of relief. It feels like a type of happiness that I never imagined. Things are sweeter, they mean more. Eliana is not just a blessing to me, she really is a miracle. And I feel like with that comes just a new appreciation for each moment, each day that she's here, each moment I have with her. Each new development is so exciting. There are moments where I do get frustrated and things are hard, but I'm reminded very quickly of how it felt way back when I was crying most nights to sleep, wondering if I would ever have a baby. And being up those nights when you're so tired and going through those things that can be really trying, you get a lot more patience